What's up, folks? How's it going? It's Erica here. Nice to see you again on my YouTube channel. This time we're gonna talk about the existing methods that can help you trade the news. And sure thing, we won't forget about trading binary options. Watch this video up to the end and you will find out loads of interesting stuff. In the description below this video you will find a link to my Telegram channel where you can ask me any questions you have. There is also a link to my Telegram channel there where I share my daily trading signals. And there's more to that. If you text me on Telegram, you can get a link to the PocketOption registration, which will give you a 50% bonus to your deposit. And that's for free. And now we're switching to PocketOption and let's go trading. What do we see? The price chart of the Australian dollar US dollar currency pair, with three open indicators, the Donchian channel, the Williams percent range and the Arun indicators. At the same time, the indicators have standard settings. I suggest we open the first trade down for 1 minute with $300 in. Here I saw that the price, having bounced off the upper limit of the Donchian indicator, began to decline and approached its average line, which already indicates a possible continuation of the decline. In addition, the Williams indicator line was actively declining, along with the decrease in price, which also confirmed the data on a possible decline in price in the near future. But the indicator signals were not clear. After all, the blue line of the Arun indicator responsible for the upward movement of the price was near the level of 100, while the red line was below 30. This combination shows us a possible price growth, but I believe that this should not happen in the near future. And so the trade ended with a profit and we earned $273. Now I think we can start our conversation. So the news, let's look at how they work. The whole process of market perception of the news can be divided into several stages. The first of them is waiting. Imagine that important economic data will be published soon, for example, on gross domestic product, GDP, unemployment rate, consumer prices, and so on. The news is still a few days away, but experts are already starting to make and publish their forecasts. This means that all the traders in the world, including institutional players, get an approximate understanding of what awaits them even before the news is released. Let's say we're talking about the US trade balance. Its deficit, as experts expect, will decrease. This is extremely positive news, which always gives a powerful positive impulse to the entire market, strengthens the dollar, and so on. The next stage, opening before the news. Investors understand that if the forecast is justified, there will be a powerful increase in price for certain assets. At the same time, they also know that they cannot be bought at the time of the announcement of such news. I will continue in a second, and now I will open another down trade for 1 minute with $300 in. The Williams line is pointing downwards, thereby giving a signal of a possible price decline. Let's check it out. Moving on. So, investors understand that at the same time of the news release, it is very difficult to buy an asset. After all, the most active robots will snatch up liquidity in a second and most will be left with nothing. Therefore, many trusting expert analytical forecasts, such as those published by Bloomberg and Reuters, prefer to open trades even before the news is released. As a result, often already 1 or 2 hours before the news release, the price begins to rise due to an increase in demand. Some investors also understand the second point. If everyone starts buying in advance, then the price will not be so pleasant. So they try to buy even earlier. Now let's go back to our trade. It was completed and again successfully another $273 added to our balance. So some traders start buying assets even earlier, trying to overtake others, thereby lengthening the market reaction on the timescale. And what happens? On Friday, important news comes out, and on Monday morning, the first most cunning traders begin to open positions in anticipation of growth for the long tail of the market's news reaction. More and more new traders join this trader. The market accelerates manually on expectations. The next stage, let's call it all ready. As a result of the previous stages, before the news was released, many investors had already bought what they wanted for a long time, and prices rose in advance. When the news comes out, many people are no longer interested. They have anticipated an increase based on expectations and are ready to close the position at any time, even if the profit is slightly less. This explains what you often see. It turns out to be an important news, but the market almost gives no reaction. Now I want to open another short trade. I see that the signals have not changed and the situation is similar to the last trade. Therefore, I will not stop there and will continue. So, why does the market react poorly to important news? Yes, because everyone who wanted to participate opened positions in a few more days. Therefore, the new release itself does not play a special role for them. And finally, the final stage, which is the release of the news. When the news comes out, one of three options always happen. The data is better than the forecast, the data matches the forecast, and the data is worse than the forecast. What if the data matches? Suppose the news is positive. However, everyone who bought counting on this news in advance has already taken their profits and they do not see the potential for further price growth. On the contrary, they close trades. In much the same way as our trade is closing now because it is closed and brought us a profit of $273. It's an interesting situation. The forecast is positive. It coincides with the real data, but the price is falling as investors massively close buy orders. However, the fall does not go to Monday's levels because not all buy orders are closed. Some hold the position further, hoping for a long-term news effect. We got to continue trading. The price reached the support level. Against the background, I opened an uptrade for 1 minute with $300 in. This time, I did not see any clear signals from the indicators. Let's see if the support level will work, and we'll talk at the same time. The second option is if the data is worse than the forecast. Buyers are in minority. On the contrary, everyone wants to profit from the downtrend and the weakening of the asset. As a result, prices may fall and even lower than they were a few days ago. Sometimes it will take only a few hours to fall. There is a devastating sale. Finally, when the news is better than the forecast, everything becomes even more complicated as many factors are involved. Usually, the price continues to rise but hesitantly, regularly pulling back when traders will exit long positions, taking the profits. And now, the term of another trade is ending. And this gives us the already familiar $273. Now, I suggest we go over how to trade the news. So, all the existing methods of trading the news can be divided conditionally into the following three groups: auto-clickers, straddle or fork, and post-news trading. Next, we will briefly consider each of them. The first group, auto-clicker, is a special program that is configured to output certain economic data and which will press the button buy for you or sell at the binary broker. Its task is to react to whether the news is positive or negative and then instantly press the button, much faster than the human eye and the human hand on the mouse will have time to react. There are enough advantages here. Instant entry into the market. It's not necessary to sit and wait for the news at the computer. It works on any terminal, setting triggers on which news indicators to work. The main disadvantage is, as I said earlier, brokerage platforms can slow down on the news. There are many varieties of clickers. There are both free and paid options. Continuing the trade, I will open another down trade for 1 minute with $300 in. I made this decision because the price turned out to be near a level that it could not overcome for 7 minutes in a row. And I assume that the rebound down is possible this time too. Now let's get back to the conversation. The principle of any clicker is simple. The news for the click is selected, then you need to specify the area on the screen where the click will be made, and this will be the button above or below, after which the clicker starts working and will do everything for you. Of course, it is advisable to use the clicker on the same platform that developed it. Not all the brokers like clickers, and if a trader works only with such clickers, it is perfectly visible from the statistics, and many brokers will write it down as toxic. After which, it will not last long, and we have another completion of the trade and another profit of $273. The next in line is a straddle or fork. This method is used in Forex. Let's describe it briefly. Before the news is released, two pending orders are manually placed in different directions. If the news favors one of the sides, the order is activated and everything is fine. But there are enough problems here. I placed orders incorrectly. I was left with a loss. For example, a long candle can easily activate two orders at once and drive you into a strong minus. There are also enough disadvantages. Orders slip, stops are often activated before the price reaches them, spreads and other choices are greatly expanded. Let's go back to the chart. The price is expected to decrease, and I will open another down trade for 1 minute with $300 in. In addition to the rebound from the resistance level, this time the signal from the volumes also helped, as its line was also declining. Let's wait for the results. But for now, let's continue the third group, post-news trading. An hour has passed, the market calmed down, you draw a corridor in which the price is located, and you always find a couple of interesting entries along the trend or even against it. The news has one curious effect as well, which we also observe with gaps. After a strong fall, the price tends to make up for it and compensate for the gap. At the same time, compensation happens after a strong market reaction. If the market did not react in any way, there is nothing to compensate. And my forecast was confirmed, and we earned another $273. Unfortunately, at this point, the trading session ends, and I'm ready to have a look at the results. I keep saying that trading is always associated with certain risks. There is no 100% signal that guarantees you success. Yet today we opened 6 trades and all of them turned out to be profitable. We were able to make $1,638. Nice result. Having studied news trading, I see in this way, one should either steer away from trading the news at all or choose a post-news trading method as the safest, free from many risks and better predicted. Sure thing, no one can stop you from using auto-clickers or manual inputs right at the news outlet, but the risks will be significantly higher. Remember, the risk is not only in the news itself, but also in the technical implementation. Many brokers slow down on the news, the websites and platforms may get frozen, the price is slipping away because liquidity providers cannot do their job during the rush demand, and so on and so forth. Many brokers slow down on the news, the websites and platforms may get frozen, the price is slipping away because the liquidity providers cannot do their job during the rush demand, and so on and so forth. I hope this information will help you make money on binary options. After all, it's only practice that can teach you to understand the market. Yet, let me remind you that it is essential that you carefully assess the current market situation before entering a trade. By and large, I recommend you to use the indicators whose signals you can read, for this helps reduce the risk and make a profit in the long term. I would like to encourage you guys to keep trading binary options because, as we can see, the analysis techniques are super simple here. And before we say goodbye, in the description below this video you will find a link to my Telegram channel. If you have any feedback, why not send me a message there? I read through every single comment I receive. You will also find a link to my private Telegram channel there, where I share my daily trading signals. And it gets better. If you direct message me on my private Telegram channel, you will receive a personal link to the PocketOption registration that will give you a whopping 50% bonus to your deposit for free. Now, dear friends, this is a pretty nice offer. Thank you for being with me all this time. And if you found this video helpful at any point, please give it a thumbs up or even a share, subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so you can find out about any future videos coming this way. That's about all for today. Good luck in the market. Take care, folks, and see you soon in the next video.